Shalom to the nation of Israel. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors, double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that teach and that rule well today. And citation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scatter worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in, day out. Shalom. So basically, I'm just going to get into a quick lesson, touching on, current news. Okay, when you see this individual, okay, this devil, okay, that went back into the spiritual realm. Okay, Pope Francis, okay, that passed. Okay, yeah, a complete devil, man. Okay, from out of, the Roman Catholic Church, okay, which is one of the wickedest religions, okay, that's being pushed, okay, that majority of our people are into as well. Okay, when I say our people, I'm going to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, when it comes to the Hebrew Israelites, the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. Okay, but those that are lost, following after the Roman Catholic Church, man, and that false doctrine. Okay, hey, but this lesson gonna be about how another one bite the dust, man. Okay, when it comes to these Edomites, man. Okay, and this ain't gonna be the end all, the be all. Okay, for Pope Francis, man. Okay, because hey, the future of these Edomites, okay, when it comes to the so-called white race, their future is going into captivity, okay, or slavery after the destruction of us, this place, America, okay, by the way of thermonuclear fire at the peak of the Third World War, and also leading to the time of who the world called Christ, okay, Yahweh Shai, second coming, okay, to, at that time, Yahweh Shai redeeming the elect of the nation of Israel, okay, which we're considered the 144,000 and the 1/3. And they're going to come a process of time, okay, when Yahweh Shai established the kingdom here on the earth. And these heathens, start with the biblical Edomites, okay, going to go into captivity, man. Okay, hey, those that, these heathen nations that perish or be judged in this lifetime, hey, they're going to come back in the kingdom being slaves, man, or servants unto the nation of Israel, man. Starting with these elites, okay, on down to the average Edomite in these heathen nations. Okay, yeah, because this devil, he done did all type of wickedness. Okay, at the beginning of the year, he did all type of enchantments or enchantments to open up portals. Okay, when it comes to the Roman Catholic Church doing those which is witchcraft, enchantments to open up portals. Okay, we already know about the Roman Catholic Church, how it, the cases of pedophilia, sexual crimes. Okay. Hey, so this devil ain't gonna get away, man. Okay, even though he live a wicked life for 88 years. Okay. Hey, but hey, this thinking that this gonna be the end of him. Now he gonna come back in the kingdom. Okay, being a slave, man. Okay, right along with the rest of the Edomites. Okay, or the higher ups that don't die. Okay, or don't perish, man. Okay, such as these certain Rothschilds or Rockefellers, a Queen Elizabeth. Okay, hey, these higher ups down to the average Edomite and the rest of these heathen nations. Yeah, those that perish on this side, they're gonna come back in the kingdom being slaves, man. Okay, up under the rule of Israel. Okay, starting with Yahweh Shai. Okay, the house of David. Okay, and the 144,000 and the 1/3 that's destined to be saved when it comes to Israel. Okay, and for these heathens, it's gonna be a long 1,000 years. Okay, for you heathens, and after that 1,000-year period of slavery, okay, for you Edomites, you're the only nation that's gonna be done away with. Okay, according to Obadiah 1:18. Okay, but let's go ahead and get into the scriptures because I ain't want to make this video too long. Okay, and I want to start off with Luke chapter 16, verse 19. And it says, there was a certain rich man. And it says there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fair suspiciously every day. And it's mainly going to these elites, man. Okay, that's in power now. Okay, so this the time now that they are in power. And it says, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores. Okay, and it's going into Lazarus representing Israel. Okay, when it comes to the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, because at this time we on the bottom. Okay, and the word Lazarus means to rise, because now we're rising up. Okay, when it comes to the Israelites, man. Okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, and when it says a certain beggar going into Lazarus, going into how we in this captivity up under Esau, Edom. Okay, when it comes to the law, statutes, when it comes to us being uh, discontinued from our inheritance, from the law, statutes, and commandments, our true power. Okay, one point of time. Lord putting the curses upon us, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 16 through 68. Okay, and still to this day, we in captivity and up under these curses. Okay, so Lazarus representing Israel. And it says, verse 21, and desired to be fed from the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Yeah, when it comes to the rich man's table, when it comes to this society. Okay, when it comes to, the money system, the benefits, the aid, okay, that our people um, have to, acquire, to live by. Okay, when it comes to this system, okay, but it ain't nothing but crumbs, man. Okay, compared to these elites, okay, and these leaders, okay, amongst Esau, Edom, okay, they have the riches of the world, okay, and desire to feed the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. Yeah, the dogs represent these heathen nations, man. Okay, outside of Esau, Edom. Okay, because these heathen nations such as, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Arabs, the Africans, okay, they don't come over here to America and be more successful than the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, to the point, okay, hey, we have to go to them as well for, business or financial situations. Okay, so that's dumb. Okay, that's dumb when it comes to these heathens. Having better income or sources over here in America, doing better than us. Okay, and it says, when it comes to these certain convenience stores or restaurants, okay, hair shops, etc., man, when it comes to these heathens that Esau Edom allowed to come over here, okay, to get certain businesses and be more ahead than your average so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. Okay, so that's the dogs, these heathen nations, okay, licking the sores. Okay, verse 22, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. Okay, and that's going into the kingdom eventually. Okay, when it comes to Israel. Okay, because the promise has been given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and their seed. Okay, which happened to be Israel. Okay, once again, so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans. Okay, when it comes to the kingdom. Okay, eventually, when Yahweh shall return. Okay, and we're going to be on top. And it says, the rich man also died and was buried. Okay, going to Esau, Edom. Okay, when they judgment come. Okay, in this case, when it comes to, the Pope, which is clearly an Edomite. Okay, and it says, in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments. Yeah, that's going into their slavery. Okay, because, when it comes to hell, the word hell means low condition, okay, or low state. Okay, because there ain't no physical place hell where people burn forever, man. Okay, that's false. Okay, hell represents a low condition, degrade, okay, death. Okay, so it says, in this hell he lift up his eyes being in torment. Okay, going into Esau, Edom, being in captivity. Okay, and see if Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom. Yeah, because he's going to see in the kingdom that Yahweh Shema Shah is going to be with Israel. Okay, and they're going to, and these heathen nations going into captivity. They're going to be in captivity. Okay, in that time. Okay, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy upon me. Send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in the water and cool my tongue, for I am in torment in these flames. Yeah, that's going to be the condition of their slavery. Okay, the hell they're going to be going through. Okay, Esau, Edom. Okay, you know, and once again, Lazarus represent the Israelites. Okay, starting with the prophets. And it says, verse 25, but Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in our lifetime receivest thy good things. Yeah, because now this is the time of Esau Edom ruling. And had the finest things of the world, the riches of the world. And they have it, all had by gotten it, and still doing it, okay, by deceit, by murder, okay, by the way of the sword, which is the blessing of Esau Edom. Okay, but the time going to come when Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, take them out of power. Okay, yeah, they're going to go into captivity. Okay, they're going to go from riches to rags, man. Okay, back to the bottom where they belong. Okay, so this is the time now they're receiving their good things. It says, and it says, and likewise Lazarus evil things. Yeah, likewise Lazarus received evil things going to Israel. Okay, at this time, us being under the curses, man. Okay, being punished by Yahweh Shema Shai due to our disobedience. Okay, following after false gods, idol worship, different sets of religions. Okay, and you know, so the Lord put us under the curses. But the only ones that's going to be delivered is the elect. Because at this time, 2/3 of our people going to be destroyed, man. Okay? But in the kingdom, they're going to come back in the kingdom. Okay? Being the sons and daughters of the elect. And they're going to be fully righteousness. Okay? But Esau, Edom, and these heathens in the kingdom, they're going into captivity, man. Okay? And they're going to have to come up under our rule. Okay? Up under the rule of Yahweh Shema Shai. And it says that he may dip his tip of his finger in the water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. Yeah, because they're going to be catching hell, okay, in that captivity, okay, up on us. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things, but now he is comfort, and thou art tormented. Yeah, so they're going to be the role reversals, man. Okay, we're going to be on top. We're going to be in our comfort. Okay, when it comes to the kingdom, okay, rulership, okay, having all power up under Yahweh Shema Shai, being immortal, being righteous, okay, when it comes to the new covenant, being in our inward parts, okay, but Esau, Edom, yeah, they're going to be in torment, okay, that's what's going to be the time of them going into captivity, okay, starting with them in the heathen nations, okay, and it says, besides all this between us and you, there's a great gulf fixed. Okay, a separation. Okay, because the nation of Israel, okay, is separated from these heathen nations, man. Okay, the Lord separate the nations. Okay, and chose Israel. Okay, and chose Esau, Edom to be the wicked in these heathen nations. Okay, to be not of the chosen. Okay, when it comes to righteousness, but them being the chosen to be up on us eventually. Okay, to be our servants. It says, so that they would pass from hence to you cannot. And it says, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us, that we come from hence. And we come from thence. Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father house. Yeah, so you know, you got certain, you know, heathens or Edomites that pass. Okay, they're eventually gonna, you know, receive their judgment. Okay, so they think that, you know, knowing that, you know, their future judgment, okay, somehow, you know, they can send a message, okay, to the rest of these heathen nations or their members, family members, or, you know, heathen nations here on the earth, okay, to tell them about the future, okay, you know, about their future judgment, that they're going into captivity. And it says, for I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. Okay, going to the captivity. And Abraham said unto him, they have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. Yeah, so it's going into the prophets, man. Okay, the only way, okay, that they're going to hear, okay, is by the way of the prophets of the nation of Israel, man. And that's at this time now. And we're telling them eventually, hey, they're going into captivity. Okay, so the message ain't going to change, man. Okay, and he said, nah, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. So it don't even matter if the Lord raise up Pope Francis again, or any individual of Edomite or these heathen nations, and this time to come back and give them the forewarning, okay, about their future. Okay, now the Lord already set up the prophets, as verse 31 said. He said unto him, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one raised from the dead. So it ain't gonna matter. Okay, the message gonna be the same. Okay, by the way of the prophets that Esau, Edom, and these heathens going into captivity. Okay, and those that these heathen nations that perish on this side. Okay, they're gonna be reincarnated, or they're gonna come back in the kingdom. Okay, being service, man. Okay, up under the nation of Israel, man. Okay, so that's their future, man. Okay, let's see. So basically, that's it, man. I just want to get into a quick lesson. Going into Pope Francis. Okay, passing, and like I said, one of the top Edomites. Okay, that had his position. Okay, out of Rome. Okay, or Vatican City. Okay, which I believe the word Vatican means serpent, house of the serpent. And that's what these Edomites are, man. Okay, especially out of the Roman Catholic Church, man. We already know all the wickedness that's going on amongst the Roman Catholic Church, man. Okay, so this ain't going to be the end of Pope Francis or any Edomite that perish, that die in this lifetime, man. Okay, they're going to come back in the kingdom, and they're going to serve us, okay, the nation of Israel, up under the rule of Yahweh Shem Yahushai for 1,000-year period, man. Okay, and after that 1,000-year period, the whole nation of Edom is going to be done away with, man. Okay, yeah, so he done had his lifetime and this on this side, living it up, man, and doing all type of wickedness. Yeah, but in the kingdom, hey, they gonna face harsh rigor, okay, with rigor, enslavement, man. Okay, in captivity. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the lesson here. And like I said, all these heathen nations, man. Okay, start with Esau, Edom. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the lesson here, and I pray that the lesson will edify. Till next time, Lord willing. Lord willing, shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.